Welcome, sir. Have a seat.
That's fantastic.
That is awesome.
That's awesome. I never had that before.
That's my ringtone. I guess I owe $20. Well, welcome. Good to have you here. Welcome to Mesa Morning Live.
Great to be here.
And thanks for being our. Look at this, huh?
You've got it.
And it was genius when you designed these mugs. You did it in such a way that so if I were to drink from
You're right-handed, it's going to work out really good for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. There's nothing in it, but I'll just pretend there is occasionally.
Absolutely.
So talk to us. So thanks for being an episode sponsor. Tell us a little bit about ViaChurch and.
Yeah. ViaChurch has been in East Mesa on Power and Adobe, just kitty corner from Fremont Junior High, for about almost 42 years. And so it's been in the community for a long time and has some great history. So it was, the church was built back when Power Road was Bush Highway and 2 lanes, and it was an old horse corral, actually. And so we were named for quite a few years, Red Mountain Christian Center. So just recently, in the last year, we've changed our name to ViaChurch, which means the way. And so we're excited about sort of some new beginnings for us as a congregation. It's a great place, very special place, not a perfect place, but a very special place.
That's great. Well, you're a Mesa resident?
I am. My wife and I moved here from Chicago after 11 years. And today's a really good day to be in Mesa, Arizona, when you're from Chicago. And but we built a house out in Mountain Bridge, and so we live there in the East Valley, a beautiful spot, and love Mesa.
That's great. Are you from Chicago originally, or where's?
Originally from Milwaukee. So both my wife and I were born and raised in Milwaukee, started dating in high school, and so we've lived a couple different places, but most of our adult life in Chicago.
So Packers going to win this weekend, I'm guessing?
I sure hope the Packers.
Tell us a little bit about you that maybe most people don't know.
Well, I'm a pretty ordinary guy, but I love water skiing. It's probably one of my favorite things. I think one of the greatest assets of Mesa are the lakes that are so close. So Sorrel Lake, Canyon Lake, and so I spend a lot of time out on Canyon Lake water skiing. It's one of my favorite things to do. I've been water skiing all my life. And I didn't think, when you think about Phoenix and you're from Chicago, you don't think about lakes and being able to water ski, but we've got some fantastic lakes that are so close here to Mesa.
Absolutely. Well, tell us a little bit about what ViaChurch is doing in the community and kind of the purpose of you being our episode sponsor, and what would you like to, what's your message?
Well, I think really, especially under the theme of give back, that's really what ViaChurch is all about. And so often, sometimes churches are seen in the community as takers. The churches are always wanting money, or always wanting people, or always wanting some kind of a spot. But I think one of the things I love about ViaChurch is we really value the fact that we want to be givers to the community. We want to be involved in the community. And just from my experience in ministry over the years, is oftentimes churches have these ideas to do things in the community, so they just decide what they think the community needs and sort of starts doing it. And oftentimes the rest of the community is going, well, we're already doing that, or we didn't need that. We already have something over here. And so one of the hearts of our church is to be able to come alongside the community and work with other like-minded people that see the needs, find out the programs that are already working, that we can embrace, that we can come alongside and actually be able to be a part of that. So that's really why we've got involved with Mesa Chamber of Commerce, to be able to come alongside others in the community and to be able to find out what's happening, to be able to partner with other organizations and be a part of the solution, making Mesa a better place.
That's great. I neglected, pardon, I got to do a little commercial here. I neglected to talk about our Crowd Mics app. You'll see a little tutorial page on everybody's table. We do this every month. Tim from Crowd Mics is the man that hooks this up. If you'll go to the Crowd Mics app, and can we put that slide up real quick? Go to the Crowd Mics app, and if you find the password, I'm guessing is 123 again, because we can always remember that. And if you plug in 123, then your cell phone, your smartphone becomes a communication device. So you can text me questions that we might have for Rick or for our other guests. And it's a great source of a great way to get you guys to interact with me and the guests. And Crowd Mics, thanks Tim for doing it every month. So there we go. There's how you do it. You launched, you joined the Mesa Morning Live event, 123, and now you're hooked in. You can send any questions up here. which is a segue to our first question. This is from Tim. What has been your experience working with other religious groups?
As far as the church is concerned, there's when you get into other religious groups, there's different things that can really separate you, but we're also looking for things that unite us and trying to work with other groups that are, we might not always agree on perfect little things on theology, but if we can work together for a common cause. We're a church that has lots of different fellowships, lots of different streams that we'll sort of fellowship in or have relationship with. As well, we're also trying to seek understanding. And I'm a part of a ministers group here in the Valley that's actually getting together on a regular basis with some Muslim imams and just hearing the things that are going on in their community and things that they're facing and ways that we can really understand each other better.
Yeah, I'm looking at this slide. Your church was a part of a trip to Albania.
Yeah.
That had to be quite an experience.
Absolutely. We actually have multiple trips every single year. And so members of our congregation will go through about a 6 to 9 month training to be able to go overseas. This is just a partnership that we're doing for 3 to 5 years right now as a congregation. Albania is just north of Greece, just east of Italy across the Adriatic Sea. It's part of Europe. It's the only Muslim country in Europe. And Albania was under Soviet Union communist rule for a lot of years and has had a very difficult time getting on their feet. And so we're partnering with the largest evangelical church in the capital of Albania, the city of Tirana. And so we've been going over for a number of years, taking teams, also helping to fund some of the things that are there. And they're doing ministry to people that are hurting in their community. There's a gypsy camp that's along the river, just sort of marginalized people that the government doesn't even say exists, as well as blood feuds in northern Albania that's gone on for centuries, sort of like we have the Hatfields or McCoys in the U.S. They have blood feuds between families where they're constantly avenging each other's blood with murder. So they're coming down to the capital of Tirana, seeking a better life, trying to escape that. And so we've actually helped them purchase some property and do some community centers and life skill teaching up on a mountain there in Albania. So ViaChurch really has a focus on both. We always say missions is all around us. It's both around the world and across the street. And so we're actively involved in our own community, Mesa, Phoenix, things in the U.S., and then as well around the world. So just about every year, $250,000 actually just gets given from our congregation to ViaChurch that actually goes out both locally and around the world. And so sometimes when you drive by a church and you think, well, you know, those are people trying to get something out of the community. One of the things that's really incredible to think of is that there's quite a few churches like ViaChurch, many other great churches in the East Valley, that are giving massive funds to help people's lives and also to be able to share hope with people. And so it's a pretty cool thing. If you ever drive by our campus, just smile a little bit and realize $250,000 goes to local and worldwide causes every year.
That's awesome. We got a question here from Clyde. He says, why did you change your name? I'm guessing he means the church, not you personally.
Yeah, I didn't change my name. My wife changed her name a few years ago. But
she took your name?
She took my name, yeah.
I had to take my wife's name. For a while, I was Jackie.
Oh, really? Really? Yeah. Yeah. We just changed the last name.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Red Mountain Christian Center. That was actually the second name of the church. The church started off as Highland Park Assembly, and in 1985 went to Red Mountain Christian Center. And as I came, I've just been pastor at ViaChurch for 4 years. As I came, the congregation was saying, yeah, we've got a difficulty with our name. There's other great churches and other organizations right up the street within our reach that had similar names. And so when you go down Power Road, it's almost Red Mountain something all the way down the road. So we sort of felt like we had an identity crisis in the community. And as well, Christian Center, no one really knew what that was. So we decided we wanted the word church in the name. And so we began like a year-long process with a lot of collaboration among the congregation. At the same time, we were sort of discovering our values, our mission, with hundreds of people speaking into that. And we wanted something unique. We wanted something that had a lot of space on the internet for us, so we could buy some domains, and also something that had a biblical reference. Via comes from John 14:6, where Jesus says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." And he actually, the original Latin Vulgate of the Scriptures says Via, so it means the way, and it's also the same in Spanish, Italian, English, and also all the domains were free, and so we have Via. ViaChurch.org, ViaChurch.com, ViaChurch. We bought them all, and so if you ever want to become a Via Church, good luck on the internet. So yeah, it really was a great thing. You know, there's no perfect name. At the end of it, you know, there was maybe a little anxiety in our congregation for changing a name because that becomes real personal. But really, when we started to say, hey, we're still us. We haven't changed. We're just really trying to get an identity in the community that can stand out, so that we can really be able to have our own presence.
That's great. Okay, here's a question from Jason. Aside from Albania, what are some of the things locally that Via Church is involved in?
Yeah, I think we were really, feeling like we were falling a little short on that a couple of years ago. And I began really some conversations with our team, our staff. We have about 10 pastors on our staff. One of them just began to talk about what can we do. And we started to look at, well, what are some organizations that can connect us with other endeavors in the community, and so that's where we went to the Chamber. And so the Chamber has really been a great connector for us as a congregation. We're not a church that wants to sort of like just be within our own walls. We want to be outside of our walls. Most of the stuff that happens in our church community or through our congregation happens outside of our walls rather than inside of our walls. And so the Chamber's been a great lead for us with that. We've partnered with the food bank. We did the water hydration project last July. And so our congregation, oftentimes we find out they're looking to do something. They want to be a part of something. And we can do the legwork, do the organization, make it very easy for them. Our church is a place where they're coming at least once a week, if not multiple times a week. So it's a great drop-off place for that. So we really just try to mobilize our congregation to partner with the projects that are pitched to us, oftentimes through Mesa Chamber.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate everything you're doing for Mesa, everything you're doing outside of our local community. And thanks for stopping by today. Is there any last thing you'd like to, any message you'd like to give?
No, we don't, at ViaChurch, we don't think we're the only church that has it right. There's lots of great churches, but if you're looking for a church, stop by, check us out. You can check us out on the internet and all of our different multiple service times, and we'd love to have you stop by and visit. And if you're there, let me know you're there.
And tell me again, you're at Power and
Adobe.
Power and Adobe. All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much for all you do for Mesa, and thanks for stopping by today for Mesa Morning Live.
Absolutely, our privilege.
How about a big round of applause just for Rick Thiem? Thanks, Rick.